Hey you. Yeah, the moron looking at the monitor. Do you absolutely suck at making passwords? Does the thought of putting any sort of effort into your account secure frighten you? You lazy Boy, do I have the invention for you.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
This has got functions, lists, imports. It takes input from the user. You got the sequencing. It got the whole package. Let me show you what it can do.
Welcome to the ultimate password generator 9001. Trademark? None. Anyways, as you heard before, this bad boy's got a list, it's got functions, it takes input from the user, you got the whole package. Alright? Let's give you a rundown of it so far. So, the modules this thing uses are sequential, random, and time. These are important. Okay. So, let me demonstrate the invention first, and I'll let you know on how the code works. So we launch our thing. Your ticket into your window right here. You have some options. You can check your password, see how strong it is. Here we have the password generator. This is what makes you a good password if you absolutely suck. Let me walk you through this one right here first. First, you just press the button, and then this window pops up. And this is where you put in your password. So, for the sake of example, let's just put. See, you put in your password, press enter, and this is how you get your result right here. Look at this. Weak. See that? Tells you how good your password is. Here, let's put in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have confirmation that France is weak. Alright, anyways, but let's put in like a high level password, just to see how it goes. So let's put in some, I don't know, numbers in there, some letters, caps, 1, 2, 3. Put in some special characters too, because why not? And look at that! Wow, an excellent password. That's crazy. Okay. And now we have our generate password right here. This is actually, so for this one, you just put in your desired character amount. Let's say 14 for the sake of example. 14 characters. And boom. After 2 seconds, we get our new window with our new password. Look at that. Nobody's getting through this. This is a password right here. Moving on to the actual code. We can see we got a pretty lengthy code, but do not be intimidated. I'll walk you through it. Here we have our functions for making the password, and here's how it works. It takes in your length or the amount of characters you want through this parameter right here. It has a while loop and an iteration variable. And what it basically does is pick out a random character from this list right here and add it to this empty string. It's gonna do this for however many characters you want. This function right here, the check password, is how we evaluate the strength of a password. It takes in your password here as a string, has these variables for characters, numbers, letters, and characters. This refers to special characters. I should probably specify that. And some variables for the sake of the return statement, which we're going to need. And so basically what it does is it iterates through every single character in the password. For every character, for every single character, it's going to increment it by 1. That's how you get the total amount of characters. If the current increment is a number, it will increment numbers by 1. If the current one is a letter, if the current increment is a letter, it will increment this value by 1, and anything else, so just add +1. And using this criteria right here, it will determine whether it's a good, medium, or weak password. Onto the window itself. Alright, so moving on to this function right here. What this does essentially is called when the enter key is pressed. When you have your windows open, your second windows. What I mean by that is these windows right here, right? When you press, let's say you put in like some gibberish in here, right? And you press the enter key. That's when that function is called. And what it will do is it takes whatever you put in that this variable right here. It stores whatever you put in the text box into a variable. So there's input box I get, And then using var1, it calls the check function. So x equals check var. And x will be whatever is returned from this. You either get good, medium, or weak. It's going to print x to make sure we got it. And then we call this give result function. Right here. It basically passes in the result into this function right here, in the give result function. And if you scroll all the way down to give result, where is it? How did I even lose it? Give result. What this does is open up a new window, a new Tekinter window, and it displays your result, as we said before. So it takes in result as an argument, and then it puts it in this text right here, this little window. And it does the same, and this function right here does the same thing, basically what I just explained, for the other button. And that is how the script is able to take in what you put and do stuff with it, essentially. So, for here, let me demonstrate again. Right, let's say we put in the number 12, press enter, I'll have that for now. It checks the enter keys pressed, puts 12 into the variable, prints out this print statement to ensure functionality. This is irrelevant, please do not pay attention to it. It checks if it's a digit, which if it's true, if it is a digit, then it will do all this. Another print statement to ensure its functionality, ignore what the print statement says. And then it will call the make function, where you put in your it will call the make password function, which basically inputs the amount of characters you want. And if you recall earlier, it takes in length as a parameter, and using that parameter, it will, as I said before, make your password using those amount of characters. It's gonna print it out to make sure we got it correctly, and it's gonna do time.sleep too. This basically gives some time, and gives the user a little bit of time to get ready, write that new password. It makes the program a lot more clean, I'd like to feel. It waits a little bit before displaying your new password. So as I just said, it does time.sleep 2, which waits 2 seconds, and it calls this function right here. Now what this one does, as I explained about the other one, give new pass, it takes in whatever the new password is in this scenario, and then we'll display it in this new window. So right here, new Tekinter window is initiated. We set the size, and for a new Tekinter.label, text equals whatever we got. All of this is for the Tekinter windows itself. The check window, the window where you put in your password, this is already created beforehand, as well as the generator window where you put in your the amount of characters you want to make your password itself. It's gonna hide these right here, right? And these functions are important because these are going to be called later on. When you press X on the window, it will call the hide function. So let me demonstrate one more time. See right here, when you press the X button, it's gonna instead of deleting it entirely, it's going to just simply hide it. Otherwise, it's gonna cause problems in the script and having to make a new window using a function. And if you had to make a function to make an entirely new window, then it's would be very limited as to what it could do. So the smart decision would be to just keep it existing, keep it running, so it could just be reopened later on. Forgot to mention these functions right here. On closing root, as I said before, on closing of check window it will hide. On the closing of the hide generator window, and when the X button is pressed on the other window where you put in your characters, it will also do hide 2 and hide. It'll do this hide function right here, which we've defined below. On a closing of the root, this basically means when you close the main window itself, it's going to destroy all 3 of these windows that exist. So that way you won't have any running instances minus the result window. So let's say all 3 of these are open. sorry, let's say you have this one open right here, right? If you close this, it'll also destroy that one, so you don't have anything left over. And this will stay so the user can see what what their password or result is, and they can exit out whenever they like. And that is my project.